ॐ अजाय नमः। ॐ अव्ययाय नमः। ॐ अविनाशिने नमः। ॐ अचिन्त्याय नमः। ॐ अप्रमेयाय नमः। ॐ अनिकेताय नमः। अद्वितीयाय नमः। ॐ अनिकेताय नमः। ॐ अनुशासनप्रियाय नमः। ॐ अन्तःसाक्षिणे नमः। ॐ अन्तर्यामिने नमः। ॐ आनन्दाय नमः। ॐ आत्मस्वरूपाय नमः। ॐ आङ्ग्लभाषाविदुत्तमाय नमः। ॐ ईश्वराय नमः। ॐ उदारहृदयाय नमः। ॐ उत्साहवर्धकाय नमः। ॐ एकस्मै नमः। ॐ ओंकारविदे नमः। ॐ करुणासागराय नमः। ॐ कर्मपरायणाय नमः। ॐ कालातीताय नमः। ॐ कैवल्यस्वरूपाय नमः। ॐ कृतात्मने नमः। ॐ कृतकृत्याय नमः। ॐ गीताज्ञानयज्ञप्रचारकाय नमः। ॐ गुरवे नमः। ॐ गुणातीताय नमः। ॐ ग्रन्थकृते नमः। ॐ चिन्मयाय नमः। ॐ चिन्नसंशयाय नमः। ॐ जगदात्मने नमः। ॐ जगत्साक्षिणे नमः। ॐ जनप्रियाय नमः। ॐ जितेन्द्रियाय नमः। ॐ जीवब्रह्मैक्यविदे नमः। ॐ जीवन्मुक्ताय नमः। ॐ जीर्णमन्दिरोद्धारकाय नमः। ॐ तपोवनशिष्याय नमः। ॐ तपस्विने नमः। ॐ तापनाशनाय नमः। ॐ तीर्थस्वरूपाय नमः। ॐ तेजस्विने नमः। ॐ देहातीताय नमः। ॐ द्वन्द्वातीताय नमः। ॐ दृढनिश्चयाय नमः। ॐ धर्मसंस्थापकाय नमः। ॐ धीमते नमः। ॐ धीराय नमः। ॐ धैर्यप्रदाय नमः। ॐ नारायणाय नमः। ॐ निजानन्दाय नमः। ॐ निरपेक्षाय नमः। ॐ निःस्पृहाय नमः। ॐ निरुपमाय नमः। ॐ निर्विकल्पाय नमः। ॐ नित्याय नमः। ॐ निरञ्जनाय नमः। ॐ परमाय नमः। ॐ परब्रह्मणे नमः। ॐ पावनाय नमः। ॐ पावकाय नमः। ॐ पुरुषोत्तमाय नमः। ॐ प्रसन्नात्मने नमः। ॐ पराशक्तिरहिताय नमः। ॐ बहुभक्ताय नमः। ॐ बन्धमोचकाय नमः। ॐ ब्रह्मनिष्ठाय नमः। ॐ ब्रह्मपराय नमः। ॐ भयनाशनाय नमः। ॐ भारतगौरवाय नमः। ॐ भूम्ने नमः। ॐ महावाक्योपदेशकाय नमः। ॐ महर्षये नमः। ॐ मधुरस्वभावाय नमः। ॐ मनोहराय नमः। ॐ महात्मने नमः। ॐ मेधाविने नमः। ॐ यतात्मने नमः। ॐ यज्ञकृते नमः। ॐ लोकप्रसिद्धाय नमः। Om Vagmine Namah. Om Vibhave Namah. Om Vinodapriyaya Namah. Om Vinayashilaya Namah. Om Vitaragaya Namah. Om Vedanta Vidyaya Namah. Om Shantaya Namah. Om Shanti Pradaya Namah. Om Shastrodharakaya Namah. Om Shuddha Sattvaya Namah. Om Shruti Paragaya Namah. Om Shrotriyaya Namah. Om Sannyasine Namah. Om Samabuddhaye Namah. Om Satchidanandaya Namah. Om Sarvahita Chintakaya Namah. Om Satya Sankalpaya Namah. Om Santushtaya Namah. Om Sadave Namah. Om Sumanase Namah. Om Suhrude Namah. Om Swayam Jyotishe Namah. Om Sthita Prajnaya Namah. Om Shamashilaya Namah. Om Jnana Murtaye Namah. Om Jnana Yogine Namah. Om Jnana Triptaya Namah. Om Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swarupaya Namah. Om Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swarupaya Namah. Om Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swarupaya Namah. Om Sri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namah. Om Sri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namah. We are in the 44th name, and the 44 plus 10 more will be in half century done. Thanks to all of you who have come to be part of this satsang, and my thanks to the host for hosting this. The world that we live in is unpredictable, and we all know that. We think with our advancement of technology and information, world of information, science and its development, we think we will be able to predict. No one can predict nothing, really. And it's not only today. From the time human beings have started thinking, they realized that they are living at the mercy of what is around them. During those times, obviously, they did not have much to protect themselves from. If it is raining, they didn't have shelters. If it is storm or wind or tornadoes, they were victims of that. Slowly, human mind had developed, advanced itself in finding out the means and methods of protecting oneself from the unpredictable nature. So they built their own resting places or abodes, protecting themselves from the harsh weather conditions. Again, food is something which they are not sure about. They have to hunt and get the food for themselves. And again, that is unpredictable. But what kind of animal they could get, that is not predictable. They went hunting, and then whatever they got, they came back and cooked and ate. Then came that slowly the awareness that the earth is filled with its own nutrition, its own poshana, or what you call pushti, And therefore they developed cultivation, grains, vegetables, plants, fruits, leaves, nuts, and all that started further. So I'm not going to the details of how it all, but over a period of time the awareness had developed in the human mind. And what we see today is that the human beings are capable of protecting themselves from unpredictability or unpredictable happenings around them. But yet, what is happening there, you cannot stop. If it is rain, you cannot stop the rain. If it is storm, you cannot stop the storm. If it is a tornado, you cannot stop it, but you can protect yourself from, isn't it? So this kind of a development of human thinking leading to certain amount of predictability of their own protection. Even today we find if there is a heavy rain or heavy fire somewhere, even as recent as 3-4 days back, we saw how many people have become victims of the rains. Some people died also. Even today, it is still the same. Now, this kind of knowing the nature around us and protecting ourselves is the way of the West. Our Gurudev writes in his many different places that the attitude of the people who lived in harsh conditions, harsh weather conditions, have been how to fight with the nature and live. So the fighting for their own protection has been the nature of people who lived in harsh weather conditions. While the people who lived in situations where the weather is not very wild, harsh, relatively mild, are those people who started emulating the qualities of the nature. The qualities of nature being giving. Like for example, I was listening to one satsang yesterday. Swami Chinmayanandaji was telling, Bhagavan jo humko diya hai, whatever Bhagavan has provided, it's all free. Is not true? Sunshine, free. Water, actually it is free. The rain is not, nobody is charging for the rain. But when we start storing it and then supplying it and then it is a cost added. Earth and its potentiality, your own backyard, you can put the seeds and it starts growing. Nobody can charge for that. If you have a plant outside, if you have some vegetation outside in your backyard, then it grows and nobody can charge that. So is it not the food is free, vegetables are free, fruits are free, leaves are free, air is free, water is free. What actually is needed for human beings, tell me? For survival. So our needs are taken care by Bhagavan, the Lord, the creation, not the greed. We often find that many times we buy things which we don't need with the money we don't have to please those we don't like. and we always find that when our greed increases, our anxiety increases. But basic needs, shelter, water, air, food, Bhagavan de diya. For that you don't need to pay, really speaking. So therefore, people who lived with minimum demands in this world, they were able to understand the nature as mother. Not harsh, alien or enemy waiting to destroy you. So the nature of the culture of people who emulated the qualities of the nature is one thing. The nature which has become harsh in those people, the culture is different. The culture of people who always fought with the nature, moved around with guns in their hands, Whether it is a nature or human, they use the same weapon. Whereas people who lived in a place where nature is a mother, the giver, the protection, the love, the care with which the nature has been providing, they developed love, they developed compassion, they developed a friendship, togetherness, and sharing what they have got. So that is the nature of culture of different kinds of people who lived in different climatic or natural conditions. But all said and done, as I said in the beginning itself, the nature of things around us are unpredictable. Now, the Eastern thinkers have further gone deeper into the human psychology and realized that even the experiences that we come across of the world is also unpredictable. Success and failure cannot be decided by us. We can work for it, but not decided by us. Somebody may probably work very hard to become successful in a business, or a student may be working hard, reading very much day and night to make sure that he or she is able to score very well. But can she or he decide what he will get it? Can one decide how the business had to be tomorrow? Whether the market will need my product at all or not? You can only plan for it, you can only act on it, but you cannot decide. And based upon our expectations, from the world, so is our decision on whether we are successful or failure. Isn't that true? Two boys wrote exam, and then they came out of the examination hall. One was crying, another was smiling. Because the fellow who was crying, he said that whatever I prepared, there was no question, none of those came in the question. Other fellow said, I only prepared a portion, that alone came. So, question paper remaining the same, whether one is happy or unhappy, decided by whom? This apart, then when the answers came and then the final result came, one fellow came beamingly smiling, another fellow came very sad. So the fellow who was very smiling and happy, he was asked by another, hey, how you're so smiling? You got a good mark? Yeah, I wrote for 50, I got 45. The other fellow said, I wrote for 100, I got only 89. You see, the fellow who wrote only for 50 and he got 45, so happy. Because he knows he cannot get beyond 50 anyway. He didn't write anymore beyond 50.
Yes, content.
So that other fellow wrote so hard and the 100 mark and then he got only 18 or 90. He was unhappy. 90 years unhappy and 45, half of that is happy. So what is the success and what is the failure? I'm not saying this to the kids saying that only for 50. I don't mean by that. What I'm saying is, as our expectation is, so is our decision on success or failure. It is said that one shoe company had asked the salesman, and to go to Africa and sell the product, shoes. So he went there, within a week he came back and saying that, we don't think we can do anything there. Why? Nobody even wearing slippers. Forget about shoes. Nobody even know what a slipper is. So the boss said, then that is the market. You see,
Potential.
They don't even know what the slipper is. Then we can start the product there. See, it's a question of paradigm. You paradigm shift, how you look at it. So, Vedanta, the Eastern thinkers who thought about it, they said that success, failure, gain, loss, joy, sorrow, life and death are not predictables. Just as rain or shine, etc., at least that can be predicted based upon the movement of the, air and many other things. But the human mind, whether it will be happy or unhappy, whether one considers a situation as a successful or a failure, whether it's a gain or a loss, can that be ever predictable by anybody? Tomorrow, whether you will be happy or not, can you tell me now? But if you decide to be happy, nobody can stop it. That also you should understand. Whichever be the situation, tomorrow I decided to be happy no matter what. If you make that decision, can anybody stop it? If I want to smile at everybody, can anybody stop it? If I want to be frowning at everybody whom I meet tomorrow, can anybody stop me? So who decides it? When we allow the world to decide, we are victims. As I said, that nature's situation, nature, how will it behave, we cannot predict. But how my mind should behave in any situation, who should decide? Irrespective of whom I meet, whether that person is praising me or insulting me, whether that person is accepting what I said or rejecting what I say, whether I should get angry or not, whose decision it should be? If we realize that it is my decision, then you are the master of a situation. And such a person is called Dvandva-ateetaaya. You understand now? Dvandva means dualities. Dvandva means pairs of opposites. Pairs of opposites like what? Joy and sorrow, day and night, life and death, success, failure, gain and loss, pain and pleasure. These will come to us constantly. Every turn, every day, every moment. And there are 3 stages in which we should, that's how Gita proceeds to teach us. When Arjuna was not able to fight the war, thinking that it's all my people, and if I kill all these people, I will be the one who will be scolded, I will be the one who will be looked in the history as a massacre of his own family, and I am going to commit a great sin, and therefore I don't want to fight. This was the standpoint of Arjuna before the beginning of the war. So Krishna decided to teach him how to handle this. Sit down. You can go behind this, please. So he said, what is unpredictable, first accept. This very acceptance itself is maturity. See, like if you are a child coming back from the school and starts crying, you ask what? What happened? Oh, I took my pen and then my friend took it away. No, from your standpoint, that's a silly thing. Thinking that what, this small little fellow, for the sake of pen, he's crying for 1 hour. You may think so. From the standpoint of the child, that pen is the world for the child. As much as you cry for not having your promotion. My boss is so cruel. He pushed somebody else who, though I worked hard in the project, somebody took the name. And because he is a chela of that guy, and then he pushed him forward and I lost it and I couldn't get it. Now, don't you cry for days together? It is the same degree, I am telling you. As much as that child has got so much importance to that little pen, which is worth maybe $1, and cries for it copiously for the whole day, you cry for your promotion from a higher standpoint is the same. The mind of the child which is crying there out of that emotion of having lost a pen is equal to the fellow who lost his promotion. As far as the child is concerned, it is as important as your promotion. Now, you may consider the child is immature. Another person will say, you are immature. And the child is wondering, you also lost a pen? I didn't lose a pen, I lost a pension. You see, therefore, the intensity of suffering, not decided by the object. Intensity of suffering is how much importance you give to that. Think about it. If I don't give importance to something, not that it is not important, but I do not think that I should suffer out of that, then obviously you decide the reaction towards that. If somebody said something, I'm very unhappy, that means you have given importance to that person's statement. That's Lord Buddha. This is a famous story of Lord Buddha. When he was going about with his disciples to many places in a particular village to get the food for the day, they would go only once a day and then they take the food and come back and then share with each other. While they were going around, one of the person in the village was a rich guy and he started scolding Buddha along with his disciples when he was around. You fellow, you are just young and then you are physically fit, and then why are you people begging? Useless fellows, go and work. You people are a bane in the society, parasites. And left and right, and the Buddha looked at him, he didn't say anything. He came, and after that they were sitting down and they had their food, and then a few of those students or disciples, they said, how dare he, such a person, not knowing who you are, could say such things? They're so upset. Oh, Master, give us the permission, we'll go and give him. He said, wait, what do you want to give him? Back? Oh, for what he said, you did not allow us to say anything, but when we go there, you are not there. The scene will be different. So he calmly smiled and said, if you have taken it to your heart, go and give it back. I didn't take it. So I have nothing to give back to him. You let us say, in the other side of the court, in a tennis game, the fellow puts the ball. Once it comes to your court only, you will have to play. If the ball falls on his own court, do you play? It's not come to your court. Why do you need to hit? Who's the winner there? Who's the winner when the ball doesn't even come to your court? Who's the winner? He is the loser because he didn't put the shot enough for it to come reach me. In the same way, Buddha said that I didn't take it. If you have taken, go and give it back. So, first is acceptance. That there is failure, there is success, there is joy, there is sorrow, there is acceptance, there is honor and there is a dishonor, there is an insult, there is praise. It is there in this world. And do not expect everybody to praise you, do not expect everybody to accept you. It will not happen. Definitely it won't. Even great masters were scorned and then ignored and then even killed for their telling the truth. Is not Christ was put on the cross for telling the truth? Many of the great philosophers were poisoned for telling the truth. So acceptance that there is this unpredictable pairs of opposites. Do you don't accept that it is already night today? Do you cry, sit in the crowd, oh night, oh God. I never even realized that the whole day is gone. Nothing goes fast. It goes by minute by second only. Isn't that? Some days everything is so fast, Swamiji. It cannot be fast. If it is fast, the earth will go faster or what? It's going in the same speed only. It's not going fast. But in our perception, when we are in the company of somebody we don't like, everything is so slow. When you are in the company of people whom you like, everything is so fast. So, first is the acceptance. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Krishna says, samatvam. It is there. Accept it. Sukha dukkhe same krutva. Sukham cha dukkham cha same krutva. Joy and sorrow treat same. Labha alabho. gain and loss, loss and gain. Jaya ajayau, success and failure. Same krutva, keeping that same in your mind. Yuddhaya vijjasva, engage in the war. In the war, there will be definitely certain people die, and that's why it is beautifully said. In a war, the end result is not what is right. End result is what is left. Is that true? Who is right now? What is left? I hope you understand what this means. So therefore, Arjuna, if you are fighting for the right cause, the wrong people have to go. You cannot help it. It may be your own uncle, it may be your own guru, it may be your own grandfather. But if you are fighting for what is right, what is not right has to disappear from you. And no matter who it is. And if you are not interested in what is right, then go back, don't fight. So, acceptance of situations which are unpredictable, we have done with the technology and science. We protected ourselves from unpredictabilities, uncertainties. But what about the mind? Is it not that there are also uncertainties? And who can decide how to face it? You. You have to face it. Number one. Right? Acceptance. This acceptance leads to tolerance. Titiksha. Titiksha, meaning in Sanskrit means forbearance. Forbearance, obviously you have learned over a period of time out of your own maturity. Let us say in your own office or in your own workplace, you have a boss who is a very nasty person, who doesn't even recognize that you are a productive individual. You work hard to make sure that you do your best, but he doesn't recognize that. And he in turn always says that you are useless. Because you have a big family to take care, what you do is titiksha. Isn't that true? I don't want to go to that work. That boss of mine is so stupid. What to do? I have a family to take care. Now what is it? Is it not true that you tolerate? Why do you tolerate? Because you have a different goal. What is the goal? The goal being, I am responsible breadwinner of my family. So, whatever this stupid fellow says, I have to tolerate so that I will get the end of the month or end of the week salary, which is necessary. And I am looking for an opportunity to get out. If I get a better opportunity, I will definitely leave. Or probably your neighbor is such a stupid one. He constantly bugs you. He puts all his dirt into your compound. And his tree is coming on your fence. And your tree is going to his friends, and that is the place where all the fruits are falling down. And he picks up everything. Why? He just, in our property it fell, why should I give it to you? Such kind of stupid fellow. Oh, what can you do? Or maybe in your own country where you are the president maybe, or the secretary, somebody else may be so stupid. No, you have to tolerate. What can you do? 4 years, 5 years, you have to tolerate. So you see our husband maybe, husband or wife or mother-in-law, son-in-law, brother, whatever it is. I mean, see, you may not tolerate if you think that you can get rid of them. But if your goal is high, then tolerance also has to be high. Let us say you are traveling in a flight and you are coming from India to here, and the fellow or the person who is next to you is constantly coughing. What will you do? The flight is full. You cannot change the seat. Or there is a nagging child, constantly crying. What will you do? Put your earplug and sit there. Tolerate. Your body may be not in good condition, it may be having health issues. Your body, tolerate. So titiksha, you understand that. One is acceptance, another is tolerating that. Yes, it is there. Even though I feel sometimes very agitated about it, let it be so. So these two are there. These two are, it requires only maturity to understand. But Vedanta goes one step further to say that these two things, which you call it as unpredictable pairs of opposites, actually have no reality at all. This is where knowledge takes a leap. Like, for example, you take a coin, it has head and tail. At one point of time, it will be one side only. You can see only one side of it. But because you don't see the other side, does not mean it doesn't exist. Is the head we are seeing, tail you are not seeing. If you are seeing the tail, then the head you are not seeing. That does not mean the other doesn't exist. It is. Provided you take the coin seriously true. Huh? If the coin is true, two sides are true. If experience is true, then joy and sorrow are equally true. If your mind is true, anger, lust, passion, joy, sorrow, everything is true. It depends upon how real, as I said in the beginning itself, how much of reality and importance you give, that much would be the experience of it. If you realize that that itself is not real, just like sunrise and sunset, real? Real? Why it's not real? You see sunrise every day? I mean, some of you don't see that. You see sunset at least. Is it real? When you see it from the very gross standpoint, yes, I see beautiful sunset and you take pictures and all those things. Or sunrise or sunset. It's true. But then think about it. Is it true? No, it is not. But that doesn't stop you from experiencing it. You can enjoy the experience of sunrise, you can enjoy the experience of sunset, but scientifically looking at it, there is nothing called sunrise and sunset. It is relative. From where are you? From the earth standpoint, there is sunrise and sunset. From the sun standpoint, there is nothing called sunrise and sunset. Then what is the reality of it? What is the reality of it? So, when you look at a person from a particular emotional relationship, that person will have the experiences that you expect her or him to give. For example, one person said, me and my wife were very happy for 25 years and we met. See, when did she become a miserable wife and you are a stupid husband? Only when you met. Before that, she was a happy-go-lucky girl and you are a happy-go-lucky man. And when you met your wife or she met you, after that you built a relationship called husband and wife, then the whole expectation and the way you perceive that person has changed. Is it not true? When you first fell in love with her, you never thought she would be the mother of some miserable children. Right? And later on it happened. So, when you look at a person with a particular thing in your mind, so will be your experience. And unfortunately, our perceptions are always colored, prejudiced. And let's say that if you are going to a sari shop and you looked at a particular sari out of the 252 saris that fellow, poor fellow has put it in front of you tirelessly. You know, interesting thing you may observe that in any sari shop you go, in India, I don't know about here, for all the women's sari shop, only men will be the people who are putting that. Have you seen women putting the sari in front? They won't. You want this or not? You better take it.
Because they have a lot of patience.
Yeah. Men, not the patience. Anyway, I don't know the psychology behind that, but mostly in all sari shops, the person who puts in front of you all the saris are men. Anyway, so you look at all those things and you decided one particular thing and you don't want to buy today, tomorrow. Because the husband said, not now, it's too late and I didn't bring the purse, whatever. You wanted to escape from the situation. And lo and behold, you find the next day your neighbor is wearing that. Will you buy it? See. Now, what changed? What changed? You liked it or not? Yes. If she is wearing, no way.
Yeah, but it's that neighbor who had that tree.
Yeah,
that
correct.
Yeah.
Similar to that. So, now you liked it, but you don't want to buy it. So the whole, how much importance you gave to that, suddenly it changed. So that according to your importance, so will be your experience. If she has not bought it, or next day you go there, and this saree is still there, and you will buy it and enjoy it. Correct. So, the way we look at any situation decides the frame of mind. And how much reality you give to that decides how much intensive will be your experience. If I go to a place where they have invited me, and they have 3 different dishes, all made of eggplant, let us say. I will have total vairagya of that. Now, you may enjoy, but my experience of that is, it's useless. It's not even a food. So, I don't give reality even if somebody says, Swamiji, this is the best food you can ever have in the world. Go ahead. I'm not stopping you. So, I don't give reality to its taste. I don't give reality to its even as a dish anyway. But I don't care. But somebody who likes it, he will die for it. So, this world of varieties is defined whether it is joyful or happy or peaceful, or it is pain, sorrow, decided by how much reality you give to it. Not only to the objects of the things in the world, how much you give reality to your mind for it. How much reality you give to the thought. A thought may arise, and if you don't give reality, it will just fall off. It doesn't have a hold on you. So, the one who has been living in this world, looking at the world differently, but the same thing he is looking at what you and I are looking at. But in his mind, he gives no reality to it. Therefore, whether it's a joy or sorrow, pain or gain, success or failure, he goes beyond that. And that is called Dvandva-ateetaaya. So, Pujya Gurudev and such other saints who lived amidst us, who lived among us, taught, lived, experienced, and such great personalities not only derived inspiration from the books like Bhagavad Gita and Upanishad, etc., to tell us about the secrets of life, they lived through it. The words came out of their experiences, not from the books. Though their journey also began with learning from a teacher, reading through the books, but invariably they decided to experiment it in their lives. Found the reality of it, found the truth of it, not only found the reality and truth of it, found the joy of it. Once you have started enjoying that state of freedom where you are no more cowed down by the happenings and things around in your life, you have risen above that. Ateeta means above, gone beyond. Then you would like to share with others. Hey, why are you suffering? This suffering you are doing is out of your own stupid mind, your own imperfect thinking, your own unintelligence. You can come out of it. It is your decision. Is it not that Krishna finally gave the knowledge completely to Arjuna and then left the choice to him? I have told you whatever I need to tell you. Now it's your choice to proceed on, to implement what I have said, or totally reject and do whatever you want to do. Yata ichchasi tata kuru. Whatever you think, right, you do it. That is the freedom. No more insistence. Having given the knowledge, the teacher gives you freedom as to choose it also. There is no insistence. Thou shalt not do it. Thou shalt go to hell. Nothing. You will not go to hell. Oh, is it? You are already there, so why do you need to go? So we are getting caught in the world mostly by our own mind's realities. Our own mind giving reality to things. Once we realize this, we start observing ourselves very, very carefully. Am I suffering out of my own choice, or the choices that are there in the world? Is it not the happenings in the world that is causing me pain, or the way I look at it? Once we realize that it is our choice to be happy, our choice to be free, our choice to be liberated, then you will make that choice. And nobody can stop you. And such an individual alone can finally, find true bliss in his life. Until then, we may keep on talking about it. And the knowledge will not become our experience. It will remain only a vicarious, second-hand or third-hand information. And it will not become our own personal life. And that is the difference between wisdom and knowledge. Wisdom is knowledge experienced. And thereafter you will have no doubt about it. Once you have experienced it, there is no doubt about it. Until then, you may say, but in your part of your mind will say, I doubt it, whether it is true or not. Somebody said so. I'm not sure about that. But once it is your own experience. So we have seen our own Gurudev in close quarters where there are so many projects that he had taken up in his hand, but not all of them are successful. But he never worried about it. So what? Let's move on. If somebody comes and cries, Swamiji, I did this, and so what? Get going. Don't stop anywhere. Like a river or any water, the moving water has to finally find its destination. It cannot stop. It has to move. If it stops, it will become stagnant and the source of all, diseases. A stagnant water without movement is a potential place for all diseases and sickness. When the water is moving, it is always fresh. In the same way, you may take up something, it did not work out, so what? Keep going to the next one. Don't stop. So that will help not only in the worldly sense of success, but in the spiritual life also. He never would say, oh, yesterday I could not do japa, so I will sit and cry. Why? Do it now, today. Don't worry about what happened in the past, because even if you worry, you cannot go back. What can you do? About tomorrow, you can decide. About today, you can act. About yesterday, what can you do? Can you go back and live? You cannot go and change anything of the past. These are all stories are there where you can go and change in the past. That is not in reality. Just like if I said something, it is already out. I cannot take it back. And I don't understand this. Some people send the email and after some time it says, she wants to take it back. How will you take it back? Isn't that? She wants to, what is that? That comes? Recall.
Yeah.
How will you recall a email? It's already delivered to my inbox. I read it also. I want to recall. How? Send it back to you. How do you do it? What does it mean? It doesn't mean. Whatever is the content, I don't mean it. Is that what it means? Ignore it. I read it. What can you do?
Delete from your brain.
I wish it can. Anyway, so I cannot do anything which is already gone. If you have said a word, I cannot take it back. If I have performed an action, I cannot take it back. So don't worry about what has already happened. Don't waste your time there. So therefore, how much reality we give directly is equal to the experience. So this is the way of going beyond the Dvandva, dualities, pairs of oppositions. Life and death are obviously unavoidable. Day and night are not avoidable. None of these things which happens outside us cannot be. But we can definitely overcome what is happening within us. That is the only thing we can work on. Other things, just leave it. So our focus is then clear. I don't want to waste my time in things that I cannot change. But let me focus on things which I can. It is under my control. I don't need to ask anybody. If I want to be happy, should I take the permission of all of you? What do you think? Your opinion, please. Should I be happy tomorrow or not? Is it somebody's decision? So that's these masters continuously demonstrate this. Don't become victim of your own mind. As and when possible, discard the unwanted and proceed on to make those choices. Yato nischarati manaschanchalamasstiram tadastato niyam etat atmanyeva vasham nayet. Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, whenever the mind drifts away from this understanding, there and then you bring it back. Don't wait. The moment you realize that your mind has already taken to the course of regretting for something or anxiety about something else, don't wait. Then and there you bring it back to your inner self and be at peace. Because the mind is of the nature of multiplying its own thoughts. The moment you allow it, it will go berserk. It's like browsing in the internet, especially YouTube. You are watching something and then there are 14 of them comes around. If you are interested, and or you browse any product also, the people who bought this also. Or choices, if you don't like this, you choose that another 15 of them come. This is the nature. They just are, they are just, very unhappy sitting there. It is just how the mind works. They are working on how the mind wants it. So if you are watching something, you may be interested in this also. You are watching, then it goes on endless. So once you allow the mind to get out, world wild net, you get into that. This is in Sanskrit, it's known as Indrajalam, internet. Net, Jala is net, as you know. Jali, net. Indrajalam, internet. And Indra is working on it. This Indra's world. And you will keep you engaged in here and there, constantly. So when we realize that mind has already drifted away into the world of various things, that very awareness itself bring it back. That practice is what is known as japa or contemplation, which will help you to bring back the mind without any regret. Pull it back. And because our mind has been habitually going into the world and getting caught in its own multiple way of thinking, multiplication of thoughts, many times it drifts away for half an hour or 2 hours, then you realize, oh, where did we begin? Once we practice like taking the name of the Lord or any other thing, we can start having better control over the mind. And we immediately detect if it is out of range. If it is not under the radar, there is somewhere else it is sitting there. It's gone somewhere else. So it should be constantly kept under vigil, and that is a practice. So those who have thus mastered their mind, in spite of the unpredictability of things around, those who have had the total control over what thoughts should be there in their mind and how much reality we should give to things and beings in this world, those who have mastered that, those who have gone beyond the pairs of opposites, they are called Dvandva-ateetaaya. And our Gurudev was such a person who is praised for such a wisdom, and he imparted to all those who wanted to follow the path. Dvandva-ateetaaya Namah. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma